Hey everybody, it's Christine, and today I have a new bullet journal spread to share with you. This one is for clear scraps, and I am again going to be using some of their mascals to make it work. So the first thing I'm starting off with is using this 6-inch calendar mascal. I have backed it with some repositionable adhesive dots from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L, and that will secure it to my paper long enough for me to be able to do my stencil work, and then I'll be able to pull them up and it won't destroy the paper, and I can just pull those adhesive dots right off and throw them away. So this is a 6-inch calendar. It is perfect for things like your future log, and I did it last month for my future log, and I knew I wanted to do it again for December. It just worked so perfectly. And I'm using a soft cover journal from Paper House. It's about an A5 size, so these 6-inch ones really fit in there nicely. Now you can see they've got the days of the week with the first letter there at the top, and I am outlining those, and I'll go ahead and fill those in off camera. I love this just because it takes a little bit of the work and the curved lines, etc., out of the process. It just for me, it's a quick, sure deal. And yeah, I still do mess up the lines a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it really helps speed up the process and just make it a little bit less stressful for me. I am really loving stencils in my bullet journal, and I am about to place another order with Clear Scraps because I'm just having so much fun with these. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just use some old packaging, and again, I'm going to add some of those repositionable adhesive dots to the back of it, and I'm going to put that in the middle of my left-hand side so that I can use this stars mascal to create a Christmassy background because I have the December spread going up. Now, I don't usually like to do too much as far as Christmas crafting goes before Thanksgiving. However, a future log is kind of meant to document things that are going to happen in the future. So this was kind of a necessary thing to do for me. And I didn't do it so far in advance. At least it's November still, and I'm, but it serves the purpose of a future log. The purpose is to jot down things that are coming up so that you can enter those into your planner later or into your weekly planner in your bullet journal later. And so that is what this is doing for me. Now, you can see I've created those stars all over. Since this is a 6-inch mascal, I am going to have to move it down and do the same on the bottom, but that works out well because the stars are cascading in size, so they start real big at the top and get smaller on the bottom. And so this way I'm able to have some bigger ones on the top and bottom. And all I'm using is a blending tool and some distress oxides, and it creates gorgeous colors with these mascals. Really pleased with the results. And then I'm going to go ahead and dry that. Distress oxides are a blended ink of both dye and pigment ink, so they take a little longer to dry, but you get the real nice, bright, bold colors that you get with pigment inks, and so that is a definite added bonus, and I don't mind pulling out my heater to dry just a little bit. Now, another advantage of distress oxides is that you can layer them, and that is really a fun feature. So you can see here, like my green ones went right on top of my red, and it didn't like turn them brown or anything. It just adds another layer to it. And so they're really unique inks. If you haven't played with them, I definitely encourage you to pick up a couple pads and just play with them. They present very differently than your traditional dye or pigment inks. And I'm definitely hooked. I have a lot of them. Now, you can see they work fantastic with the mascal, blending in great. You can also see that my mascal is kind of getting to be a bit of a hot mess. I will just take that in and clean it right off, no problem, and it will be good to go again. I did at least get smart for this part and get my mixed media mat out. One thing you do want to be cautious of is don't move too fast like I just did there, and I got that extra little line over on the left hand side. Now I'll cover it up with a sticker. It's not really a huge deal, but because I was trying to just get the stenciling done and get things dry, I wasn't being as cautious as I should have been. And there's no taking that back. You're in a bullet journal, your page is there, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Like I said, I'm gonna just add a sticker and cover it up, and it's not the end of the world, but I was a little bit annoyed with myself, to say the least. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use some washi tape from Paper House to create a border on that masked area there. And then I will use that area to put my notes in of what's going on this month. I am going to, again, hand letter my calendar name, December, and like I have said in the past, I am absolutely not an expert at this, but I have been playing with it consistently. I try and do a little bit of it each day, and that way I'm getting better at it, and eventually, hopefully, I'll feel like I'm really good at it. But you can see it comes out pretty good, I think. Not bad for someone who doesn't have any formal experience or formal classes. There's tons of tutorials out there, as well as sheets you can trace to practice with it on. I am using a red brush pen, by the way, and that is one from Marvy. Comes in a set, and just a real simple, nothing real fancy, but it works really nicely, and I like the way those ones move and glide across the page. I am going to pull my green pen back out, and I am going to add some lines to the left hand side. I'm also going to pull out my white pen and just add some dot details to my brush letters there, just to add to the playfulness a little bit. This pen that I'm using right now is a Uniball Signo pen, and it's pretty much been my favorite white pen for at least 5 years. I always have several of them on hand. Then I'm going to use this Pilot Flare, I think, or Papermate Flare. I can't remember which one of those two, but it's a flare pen, which is a felt tip, and I'm just adding those lines in there, following along the grid line, and not worrying too much if they're perfect. I'm going to add some Christmas stickers on here from Paper House, and then we will call it a day. So there you have it. My December future log made way easier and prettier with the fun stencils, which are called mascots, from Clear Scraps. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will see you again soon with more bullet journal spreads, as well as all kinds of other fun topics. Thanks for stopping in.